Здорово, комрад, с вами Котлинин, и сегодня мы закончим проходить игру Juarez Gunslinger. YouTube мне прислал письмо, то что на вашем канале началась прямая трансляция. Так, что по звуку? Что по звуку? Шикарно. Сейчас, ребятушки, нужно поставить лайкосики.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
Бежим, бежим. На поиске приключений.
They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Обрезана винтовка. Не, золотую.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Мне золотая как-то побольше нравится.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there. I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
What about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Куда мне надо?
I am not fond of heights, but I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway, so I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Думаете, я такой глупенький, вас не прочитаю.
At times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery.
А я
The
вас
only difference is these
прочитаю.
damn ducks shot back.
В смысле? Что такое? Неплохо так жмыхнуло.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a
You mean
hand.
like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Стой. Роспись, Джефф Картин, Келлер, Лайк. Короче, большой отряд против дикой банды.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Куда бежим? Есть такое дело. Так, ну, в принципе, я что хотел, то прокачал.
Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Здорово, Флекс. Ну, уверен. Вот да. Есть такое дело.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice.
Чё это? Защита в ближнем бою. Ладно, пусть будет. Пусть будет, коль начал.
But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry. And maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Друг друга. Он ходит постоянно, это не очень удобно. Плюс я играю на высоком уровне сложности. Не на самом максимальном, конечно, но на высоком.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Победил в частной дуэли.
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Одна минута 30 секунд, да, или как-то так.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
That Kid Curry's kind of crazy, ain't he? Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado. Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down. Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Защити улики, которые помогут что-то там.
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle.
Карту рисовать на
Property
камне
of
это
the Union
гениально.
Pacific.
Тем более карту с планом захвата чего-либо.
The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports.
И это мне надо все разминировать, насколько я понимаю. Возможно, стрим, кстати, будет очень коротким. Потому что я точно не помню, когда кончается игра. Ну, где, точнее. Это может быть последняя миссия. То есть мини-стрим серия, ну как-то так.
Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. The bridge was rigged with dynamite. So I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards.
Нужно быть осторожным, что-то. Оп-оп-оп.
A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Карта строится прямо на глазах.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
One wrong shot, and they never would have found all the pieces of me.
Я и забыл,
Don't worry, I
что
know
тут
what
так
I'm
нельзя.
doing.
Потому что тут же кругом динамит. Поэтому лучше так не делать. И бочки не взорвать тоже, насколько я понял.
It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one.
Нет, все-таки можно
Once
взорвать,
that was
но
done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
новый уровень. Так, новый уровень мы вкачаем. Давайте вот это. Мне тут уже без разницы, что вкачивать, ибо я то, что хотел, то прокачал. Есть такое дело. Hello. Отлично. Извиняюсь, был пропуск кадров небольшой. Сам не понял из-за чего. Ну, как обычно, был телеком. Обожаю был телеком. Всем советую. Классно. Это был классный момент.
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually there was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Что-то повзрывал нормально. Ccылка была.
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't going to work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Обрезанная винтовка, но она без скина, без золотого, поэтому если я не хочу брать. И очень умно сделали то, что... Очень умно сделали то, что... Куда я? Где? Секрет, кстати, увидел, ну ладно. Уже без разницы.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it. The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks.
По-моему, это будет скриптовая тема, и я в любом случае успею, но это не точно. А, нет.
Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge.
Красиво.
Well, it was a touching reunion.
Красиво, очень красиво. Для 13-го года графика, как я говорю на каждом стриме по этой игре, шикарно. Я прям теку, мне нравится. Блин, а как так?
Finally, I found those boys, or more precisely, they found me.
Ну, это welcome, здорово, дядь. Приятного просмотра.
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Кстати, игрушка прикольная, я думаю, она у тебя потянет, потому что она 13-го года. Выучил. Не убежал. Хорош, дядь. Мне тоже следовало бы. Но ты ж меня знаешь. Босс. Я думаю, потянет. Ну, я вообще типа хрен его знает, но я думаю, потянет. Они не докинули.
That's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Профессионал. Он выжил. Еще и дуэлиться с ним. Давай. Она короткая. Игру можно пройти часа за 3 где-то. Например. Он был быстрый, но я всего малость быстрее. Шикарно.
And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him.
На минималках может потянет. Должна, дядь.
Those were his last words.
Я думаю, должна потянуть. Что-то у меня есть предчувствие, то что стрим будет минут 40. Если он уже не кончился. Ну. По-моему, он кончается.
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang.
Ну смотри, во-первых,
Did I neglect to mention
она
that?
весит мало. Во-вторых, игра красивая. В-третьих,
Jesse James, the greatest outlaw who ever
интересная
lived?
история. В-четвертых, интересный геймплей. В-пятых, она короткая. Ну, для кого-то это плюс, для кого-то это минус. Ну, для меня это плюс. Для стрима самое топ.
Nothing great about that.
Закончу стрим, пойду записываю Думу Терну серии.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their
Потому
heads.
что надо.
40 grand for both of them.
Я не
Dead or
записывал
alive.
Думу
That's
Терну
one hell of a payday.
месяца 3, наверное. По-моему.
I confronted them as they were robbing a train. Bullets were flying at me from every which way.
Есть.
But I knew I'd have to fight my way forward if I was gonna find this Jim.
Сюда.
Now wait a second. How'd they stop this train in the first place?
Подождите-ка себе,
James boys were experts
ну,
at
не
this.
вообще. Может, вкратце расскажешь, про что игра? Игра про ковбоев. По легенде. Мог одним взглядом остановить поезд. Есть. Джесси Джеймс. Игра про
They
ковбоев.
hopped a
Про
freight train,
дуэли.
having heard
Про
there was a
ковбойские
big
пострелушки. В
payroll
общем,
in the express station.
интересно. Быстрая перезарядка дробовика. Что?
So,
Динамиком я не пользуюсь. Ой. Бородой зацепился.
the James Younger gang was decimated after that little fiasco they had in Northfield, Minnesota.
Ну...
So Jesse needed more men and took on the killer I was after, along with a host of others. I was hoping to find my man and
Может,
put a
нет,
bullet
не
in
знаю.
his head. Climbing around that train, I
Не,
must
да,
have
не,
swallowed
нет.
100 damn bugs before I
The
reached
James
that.
Younger gang pulled the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Из-за
Everyone
трояки
knows they
ничего
were
не
the most
видишь.
famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. Again. I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did I mention that that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell?
Красочная игра, очень красивая, бляха-муха. Что за Red Dead Redemption? Ну, получается, да, это похоже на Red Dead Redemption, только на минималках, скажем так, для слабого компьютера, первого лица и без открытого мира. А еще у меня золотой винчестер. Секунду.
Anyway, excuse me, Ben. Where would I find the gentleman's
Там
facilities?
наверху чувак с дробовиком
Suddenly I
стоит.
have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few drinks and been sitting here for quite a spell.
Есть.
Right through there. Let me show you.
Последние 10 патронов. Плохо дело. Гость, если захочешь в Dishonored, первую поиграем на стриме. Dishonored? Кстати, мне нравится эта игра, прикольная.
I never heard so much malarkey in my life.
You think he's
Dishonored.
bullshitting us?
You
Да.
don't think he's Silas Green?
Я вспомнил.
I
Можно
think
во
he's just
второй,
some
в
old
принципе.
drunk looking for some free liquor.
Там есть еще какая-то третья часть, она между второй и первой
I
вроде.
don't know, Jack.
Ну, это не
I
точно,
think
я
I
не помню.
believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Вроде есть
Boy,
какая-то.
you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all.
Jack.
I mean, you gotta be 2 bricks short of a load to believe that cock and bull story.
I don't agree.
Jack, lay off the
But you
bar.
seriously think that tired old man went toe-to-toe with Jesse James?
Кстати, одна и та же
Well,
локация.
that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Starr? Of course, I didn't learn that until later. Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof. At some point, some sumbitch saw me and shouted out, "It's the damn Pinkertons!" Now, I never worked for that limey
Окей.
cocksucker. But I guess they
проблем.
assumed I was one of his
Спокойной
assassins.
ночи. И хорошего тебе
Firebombed Jesse's
завтрашнего
mother's house
дня.
and killed his stepbrother. It was no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted me dead.
Everybody's always mistaking you for somebody else, aren't they? Why is that, I wonder?
Don't rightly know, Jack. I'm just telling you how I remember.
И как дальше?
I bet you are.
Понял. Спасибо.
You don't want to mess with us! I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward. It was a rickety ride and quite precarious.
Секунду. Так, поехали.
I wondered if I was ever going to find the front of that train. Or the bastard I was after.
Кончается это
Right
плохо.
about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
Бронированный пулемет.
Yeah, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
Значит так, да?
Gatling guns.
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
Плохо дело. Пробежать так просто тоже не получится, да? Если мне не изменяет память, а она мне скорее всего изменяет, то это последняя миссия. Минус пулемет, отлично.
Looking for Jim and shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way. And that included Jesse James himself.
Сюда.
There sure were a lot of men determined to die that day.
Сюда.
It was then that Jesse detached the express car from the rest of the damn train.
Надо уклоняться было. А я револьвер перезаряжал. А, так надо походу убежать
I
вообще.
could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
Вот он крол.
What, a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he didn't. Everybody knows that Jesse was killed by Bob Ford.
Yeah. Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you.
В смысле, если не было дуэли, то зачем ее играть сейчас?
Yeah, I didn't kill Jesse James. Just wounded him bad enough to convince him to hang up his guns.
What about that Jim fella? What happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how it goes. But first, I need to wet my whistle.
Может быть, стрим будет и больше, чем 40 минут. Не знаю. Посмотрим.
After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that son of a bitch, Jim. I followed those bastards into the high mountains as they were going to ground.
What mountains would that be?
Somewhere in the Ozarks, I believe. The perfect place to hide out from the authorities.
Винтовочку беру свою золотую. В прямом и в переносном смысле этого
In
слова.
fact, before I could find them, some Indians who fled the res and were hiding out from the military found me first. They probably thought I was a cavalry scout and didn't want me telling the military where they were.
Есть такое дело.
They could have been Cheyenne, but there was all sorts of renegades roaming the landscape back then.
Секунду, ребятушки.
Hey, how about another whiskey, Ben? Nothing better to soothe the troubled soul.
Не нравится мне этот лагерь.
Now where was I? Indian pride. I had more than my share of run-ins with the regiment.
Знакомое
Like
местечко.
that time. Did I tell you about Grey Wolf?
Yes, sir. You did.
Ah, of course I did. In fact, I can still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
Перезарядка. Не понял. Там они что-то говорят, но я не читаю, так как не успеваю просто.
So, did you ever find him? Who? The man you are after.
Let me
Можно
ask you
даже что-то
something, Ben.
прокачать сейчас. Дополнительный урон для комбо. Шикарно.
You ever think about death?
Mr. Greaves, are you all right?
Молли, кто это? Молли, наверное, барменш.
Oh, death. Oh, death.
Песню
Won't you
спеть.
spare me over to another year? What is this that I can't see with ice cold hand taking hold of me? Well, I am death, none can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, death, someone would pray. Could you wait to call me another day? No wealth, no land, no silver, no gold. Nothing satisfies me but your soul. Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over to another year?
So, are you gonna answer the question?
What question is that?
Jim Reed. Did you ever find
Классная
him?
песня была.
Reed was indeed that son of a bitch's surname.
Мне понравилось.
That's right, Ben. A despicable character. I remember him laughing like a hyena that cold morning they lynched me and my
Красиво спел.
brothers.
Этот
He was
мужик.
intent on avoiding my vengeance, but nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing.
Frank James. Доберите до
I
вершины
finally
холма,
did track
избегая
those
пуль
outlaws
снайпера.
down. They had long rifles
Да,
with
легко.
scopes and were well positioned to pick off any poor soul who came anywhere close.
Знать бы, откуда он шмаляет хотя бы. Ах ты маленький засранец. Контрольная точка.
I'm guessing Frank James believed I was responsible for the demise of his brother Jesse. I couldn't really disagree with the man, as I thought Jesse was dead then as well. He backed off as I closed in on him, but he was still intent on killing me. And when I closed in on him again, he backed off again, looking for a better angle on me. Hell,
Я и
I
так
can't fault Frank
распаюсь.
for wanting his revenge, as I was there for the same damn reason myself. At this point, I'm guessing
Не
you
знаю,
think
на стриме это
Silas
или
Graves
нет.
is a worse
Вроде бы
murderer than
нет.
Jim Reed ever was.
No, sir.
A man who spent half his life killing somebody's brothers,
Я и
fathers,
так
sons.
высыпаюсь.
I think you were just looking for justice, sir.
Is that what I was looking for, Dwight? Is that what it was? justice.
Isn't that why you were hunting the James gang?
The James gang. Right. I finally found Frank holed up in his mountain cabin. He was determined to have me dead. It was a pitch battle that could have gone either way. Luckily, I had some dynamite in my possession.
Dynamite. On your person.
A few sticks, just in case. It's always good to be prepared.
Динамит это тема.
I'm just laying out the facts as I remember them, Jack. And that old shack, well, it went tumbling
Котелок,
right
там
off
каша,
that cliff.
наверное.
With Frank James still in it?
Что
Yes,
едят
sir.
ковбои?
But
Я
Frank
не
James is
знаю.
still alive, living in Missouri, showing folks around the family farm for 25 cents a tour.
I didn't say he died in the fall, now did I?
Прошел эпизод?
I'm done with this damnable outlaw life. Kill me, don't kill me, do what you will. At this point, I just don't give a shit.
I explained to Frank that I had nothing against him personally and that I was looking for someone else.
You want Reed? Have at him. I never did like that bastard. I am done here.
We parted in peace as Frank pointed out the path to my prey before making his way back down the hill.
Нельзя. Нельзя убить, жалко. Хотя, наверное, и незачем.
So, what happened with Reed?
Well, I finally found the last of the gang hiding in a nearby cave.
Wow.
First, I had to dispatch the lookouts.
Я еще уклонился прям на пулю, ну шикарно. Верите в призраков, да, что? Шучу, нет.
As I was determined not to let that murderer escape my revenge again. But rather than wander in willy-nilly, I decided it would be better to smoke that sumbitch out. Hey, Reed! I shouted. No wonder you're so ornery. Can't be easy being married to Belle Starr while you're off providing for the family. She's spreading her legs for every Tom, Dick, and Cole Younger. Not an attractive woman exactly, but very friendly. At least she was to me. It was then that the last bunch of bandits jumped out of hiding.
О, концентрация за комбо. Легендарный облик оружия, револьвер с костяной ручкой. Вот и поговорили. Да?
Eventually, it was just me and Reed.
Только я и Рид. О, это, по-моему, финальная
I
битва,
had
нет?
waited a long time to face him
Да,
down,
да, 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 да,
so
да,
I
это
could repay
финальная
him for
битва.
what he did to my brothers.
Пулька улетела. Первая пулька куда-то убежала. Я бы ему вон тапчик прописал бы еще какой. Не получилось. Есть.
And repay him I did.
Есть. Сюда. Это финальный эпизод был. Или нет? Или да? Не знаю. Все, да, это финальный. Ой.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame you never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at him.
В смысле? А, вернуться к эпизоду 7.
6 months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang. I tracked them down, hoping that Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with them.
So you're saying they didn't die down in Bolivia?
That's what I'm saying.
Так, еще играем. Хороший, плохой, мертвый. Ладно. Возвращаемся к эпизоду номер 7. Это на болото.
40 years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now. Both Johnny Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly. But the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant, that son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again. I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
Пострелял. Ладно, допустим.
For all you know, he could have been dead.
That thought had indeed crossed
А
my
револьвер
mind.
лучше перезарядить. На всякий случай. Найдите Бутча Кассиди и Санса
Did my
Накида.
thirst for vengeance turn me into something worse than the man I was after? By this point in my storied career, I had killed more men than Bob Bryant ever had. Nothing
Ты что, черт,
could
охренел?
stop me from taking his life. I'd been after that killer forever.
Револьвер с
From the
костяной
time I
ручкой.
rode with Billy the Kid. But
Куда мне?
that chapter of my story you already know.
Chapter of
Revolver.
that fairy tale, you mean?
Suddenly it was 1910. Here I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades.
На ногу упала.
The town was falling apart, just like me.
Куда мне надо? Я заблудился. А. Не заметил.
But I wasn't about to call it quits.
Рефлекс.
Even though the ghosts of my dead brothers were begging me to end what I started so long ago.
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there.
Дико
They were
бан.
after a
Самородок
treasure they had
где-то
hidden
рядом.
before they fled.
Но я
Buried in the
догадываюсь,
grave
где.
of dead amigo. I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. Like I said, the bandits knew I was onto them. They lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
А как мне отсюда выйти? Меня взяли в засаду. Чуть ли не в плен. Да, ну в баню, слушай. А мне прям снизу стрелять по ним надо. Троху задело.
You obviously prevailed since you're sitting here telling us today.
Actually, in that moment, I did not prevail.
So I suppose we're talking to a ghost.
Funny you should put it like that, Jack.
Так это так в комбо можно долгое время кого убивать, по сути. Блин. Все.
Because when I woke up,
From the dead?
there was silence all around me. I could swear to God I saw Billy then.
Где?
Billy who?
Billy, the kid. William Bonney. He was shooting at me from a rooftop.
С крыши прям.
Here, there, even over there.
Что тут еще можно прокачать, я уже не знаю.
So
Дополнительное
I am right. You are
прицеливание.
titched in the head.
Mr. Greaves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer. Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me guns a-blazing. But I knew that old war horse had died 2 years before. I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition. I saw Henry Plummer throw dynamite at me.
Шикарно.
In the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin, just like I remembered him.
Убийца призраков, что такое? Ghost Killer. Я уверен, в оригинальной для игры так эта миссия называется. Так, подожди, а как тут от них прятаться? Они еще и живучие. Они еще и живучие. Это ж не хухры-мухры, блин. Гора пуль просто жесть. Города-призрака Дикого Запада.
Robert Ollinger appeared with his terrible double-barrel shotgun.
Бля. Так нечестно. Камон, они появляются из ниоткуда, и у них дамаг. Ебать. Еще с самого начала. Ага, и где второй? Я не могу. Ладно, окей, все. Все, сейчас прохожу. убивает. Первый выстрел в голову, камон. Блять. Гребаный призрак. Вообще все.
I saw John Wesley Harding, just like I remembered him. No ghost army was stopping me.
My father-in-law got hit with a fallen branch. He spent the rest of his life talking to dogs.
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John Peters Ringo, they all wanted me
Хотя
dead.
бы контрольную точку. Навсегда избавиться от призраков. О-о-о. Добрый день.
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead.
Да.
George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for
Какая
vengeance from
то
the
жесть
great
происходит,
beyond.
ребятушки. Прятаться надо, пока не поздно.
Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed.
Что-то очень
Each one
страшно,
deader
очень.
than the next. I thought I would go crazy. Thought.
Ну вот это все, это мой конец, это я уже тупу. Чак. Может быть, нет.
Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh.
The Sundance Kid?
Где?
Like a general leading his legion of the dead. You told us before you see alive. He was alive.
Ебать. Нашпиговал ему в лицо 12 пуль с револьвера. Откуда? — 12 пуль с револьвера, дядя. Отставай. На. Туда тебе профиль, туда.
Then I heard a voice call to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker, a.k.a. Butch Cassidy, coming at me from out of the fog.
Thanks for taking care of that bastard.
Пиздец. Буч Кассиди. Сам Сайлас Грюс. Хороший, плохой и мертвый.
But the kid wasn't quite deceased. Not yet.
Ну, осталось мертвым.
Those two looked like they hadn't seen each other for quite a while. Clearly, they were no longer amigos.
Господи.
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you. You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
I asked them about Bob Bryant, but they were too busy with their own heated conversation.
Ага.
Let me get this shit straight. You want my money and the love of my life? You frittered it all away, Butch. Anna's mine. And so is that damn money.
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question. But those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
Ну да. 2 на 1. В мексиканской дуэли используйте QE для переключения фокуса на противника, который смотрит на вас. Ничего не понимаю. С первого раза я не пойду тут дичь. Никакого фокуса. Никакого фокуса. Да, я понимаю. На кого мне стрелять? Кого? Пиздец. История запомнит вас как труса. Сука. Не, я в честном бою победю. Хотя бы фокус был. На кого мне тут смотреть-то, ё-моё? Ясно, понял. Я понял. Все, сейчас прохожу, смотри. Смотри, запоминай, смотри, запоминай. Мексиканская, блядь. Пиздец. Я понимаю, как это делать. Мне не хватает то ли фокуса, то ли скорости руки. Я не знаю. Только не вдвоем на меня смотрят. Ха-ха. Я убил. Блядь, ёбаный в рот. Поздно додумался. Фокус, скорость хватает, вообще все отлично.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery not 6 months ago.
Сюда. Эпилог, все отлично.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed by the Bolivian army. Everybody knows that.
That's the legend, but it ain't the truth.
So, you never found Bob?
There is no Bob. This old sumbitch ain't even Silas Greaves.
Sir, is that true? Have you been pulling our legs this whole time?
Well, not the whole time.
Oh man, I think you've worn out your welcome here.
Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe it's time to pay. You see, Ben, or should I say Bob, your past always catches up with you.
Ля.
I was a different man back then, crazy. Drinking, I've changed my ways, I swear to you. If I could turn back the clock,
But you can't, Bob.
Давайте простим.
Why'd you toy with me like that? Telling those tales, knowing all along. Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Wanted to suss you out, Bob. See what kind of man you turned out to be. Maybe prod you into drawing on me. See, all those years on your trail turned me into a killer. Can't even remember who I was before you tried to murder me. You, on the other hand, walked that very same path in exactly the opposite direction.
What do you mean by that?
You think your life is worth sparing, Bob? Boy, what's your name again?
It's Eisenhower, sir. Dwight Eisenhower.
What do you plan to do with your life, Dwight Eisenhower?
Tomorrow I'll be leaving for West Point, sir.
So, you want to be a soldier? Well, then do it right, son. Don't tear down the world out of anger and spite like I did. You build it up. You do something decent with your life, you hear me?
Sir? Yes, sir.
I won't have it said I left you with nothing, Bob.
Есть хороший. Вот так вот и завершилась игра Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Игра хорошая, мое мнение. Новая игра плюс, ну, я не вижу вижу в этом смысла, честно. А в свое время я перепроходил эту игру 3 раза, это был 4-й. Игра хорошая, всем советую. Если понравилось, если нравится тематика Дикого Запада, то всем советую ее пройти. Ладно, ребят. Спасибо за стрим, спасибо за просмотр, за комментарии, которых было немного, но тем не менее. Да и зрителей так-то было немного. Ну, в общем, увидимся на следующих стримах. Всем удачи, спокойной ночи и